Hello, my fellow stickies, and today we're talking about the video game Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Just in case you guys haven't heard of this game, it's been out since 2010, and late 2010, and the review for it was, amazing by anybody who played it. It won 2011 Game of the Year on G4, which I was watching at the time, and I was so excited. I thought Call of Duty was going to take it in for the win, but it didn't, so I was really glad to see it. So, 5 years. It took 5 years for Elder Scrolls V Skyrim to come out, and Oblivion was a great game, trust me. And I played so many hours of Oblivion. I've probably played 100 hours of Oblivion, and I thought that Elder Scrolls V would live up to all the hype, but I was kind of scared that it wouldn't. And then, I was there at the midnight release, and I was like, oh my god, this game's gonna be great, because I just saw how many people were waiting, and I was really hyped up in the last month. And then once the game actually came out, I played the game for 540 hours. I've never heard of another person that's played more than me, and if you've heard of one, you can tell me, or if you don't believe me, I have pictures of it on Facebook, on the Facebook page, Sticky White Boy Gaming, and it lives up to all the hype. Every single bit of it. You come into the game as a prisoner, and you leave the game. Well, I never left the game, but you leave the game feeling like you control all of Skyrim. You come into the game, and you really feel, like you are a Nord or a Khajiit or whatever race you play as. You feel like you're a part of them, and that you're going through the whole game as that person or that character. And it really immerses you in how deep the gameplay is, and how just outstanding the tone and the function of all the game is. The storyline is very deep, I should say. I thought it was relatively short. It's about 20 hours of story. But if you do all the side missions, it's 300 hours. The developers say that if you do all this stuff, it's 300 hours. But even after you do all the side quests, there's all these miscellaneous quests that you can do. And that's how I got to 540 hours. Mind you, that's on one character. I've played 40 hours, 50 hours, on another tune, but you don't really realize how much you've played until you go to your save progress and you look at it and you're like, holy crap, that's a lot of hours. I always used to like to keep my room cold. That way whenever I was playing the game, I could feel like I was literally in the, ruins of Skyrim or the mountains. So I'd be shaking in my room playing the game, and and then something would jump out and I'd actually freak because I was so immersed in my game. I remember the month after Skyrim came out, nobody saw me. I never went over to anybody's house. Nobody came over to my house. Come home, play Skyrim until my parents said I had to go to bed because I wouldn't get any work done tomorrow in school. Every night for a whole month. I was just so psyched about this game. And, playing it as a mage or a thief, or doing any of the guilds, or being a warrior, a werewolf, a vampire, was awesome. And I played so much of it that I literally played from the month of the release to the first DLC. When freaking Dawnbreaker came out. Did I say Dawnbreaker? Sorry. It just, you get so passionate about a game that when you're talking about it, you mess up words, because Dawnbreaker is a sword in the game that you have to kill some shadows, which are somewhat like vampires in it. But Dawnguard, when Dawnguard came out, I definitely was a vampire hunter. I was never a vampire lord. I'd finished the Companions Guild and didn't get cured of my werewolfness, or my lycanthropy, whatever you want to call it. And I was just it was so cool, killing the very last vampire lord, and once you kill them, you were like, oh, I have this bow. It's not really that good. It's not as good as a dragonbone bow, but whatever. And the first time you fight your first dragon after you help the Jarl of Whiterun, and you see the dragon and it flies down and hits the ground, and you're like, holy crap, this thing is big. You think mammoths are big when you first see them, but then you see a dragon and they're big. And they only get bigger, and then once you fight, the very last dragon, Alduin, and then you kill him, and he's the black dragon. I mean, you kill him, and it's kind of lame, because there's no, credits or anything. There's no like 1,000 people clapping. You don't get like a black dragon bone sword. You know, you kill him, and then you realize it wasn't killing Alduin that you were going for. It was the whole journey. And then, you know, once you realize that Skyrim was a journey to killing Alduin, you realize that the journey's not even close to over. You know, you haven't completed all the guilds, or at least I don't think you would have. Most people get into the game and finish the main storyline and then like quit the game, or they'll play, you know, all the side missions, or they'll do guilds. But I literally, as soon as the game started, as soon as I got out of the opening zone, I ran. And I ran and I ran and I ran. And I didn't even get to Whiterun. I got to Riften first, which if you know the Skyrim map, it's like completely like, okay, wait, actually, here's a map right over here. Like, Whiterun is right up there. Riften is way over there. So, like, the first place you're supposed to go to is Riften. And I know there are some bad pointing skills, but, like, I literally ran halfway across the map till I got to my first city because I wasn't even looking at my map. I wasn't even bothering. You know, just the game is so, like, this game is the most I've ever played. I first played it on Master, and this game never disappointed me. I mean, it won so many awards. Everybody loved it. I mean, there were some people complaining on the PS3 side because the DLCs came out really late. I first played it on Xbox. I don't have my Xbox copy with me, but, like, the dual hand system was genius. You know, you could have magic in this hand or an item, then you could have, like, a sword in this hand, or any combination, really, was genius. I kind of wish they would have had a better bow weapon system. Like, you know, if you had your bow and, you know, you pulled it back and shot it, that you could be like kind of like a ranger, that you could have like a secondary set equipped, so you could just be like, sing, you know, 2 swords, kind of like Aragorn. Well, he has one big long sword, but either way, yeah, the first time that you kill a monster and you see it fall on the ground and you're like, holy crap, that thing actually died, or you're talking to some dude in a tavern that you don't even know that's in, you know, the corner of Riften, you know, you realize that so much effort and work has been put into this game that you can't just help but love it. Like, you can't, there's not really a way to express, like, how much you get attached to a game unless you actually, like, play the game. You know, one big thing for me is immersion, and this game, like, immersed me, like, 1 billion times more than Oblivion, and I loved Oblivion. I mean, like, I did, like, pretty much everything you could do in an Oblivion, and I even did horse armor, if you know what that was. Yeah, I paid $5 for horse armor. You know, I'm kind of sad to admit it, but, you know, I was glad I did, because a lot of people use it as a, you know, a joke now, but back then, a lot of people bought it because a lot of people liked it. But, yeah, the reason I'm doing a game review so late is because, you know, I was really trying to, like, wrap my head around how I could do this. You know, I could explain some of the bad things, like there's some glitch spots, sometimes the game's load screens are way too long. Sometimes they freeze and you have to restart the console. Sometimes monsters and quests glitch out. But every game does that. There's not a game that is perfect. Like, there will be some people that disagree with me, but there is no game that's ever gotten everything right. Because we'd all be playing that game. There wouldn't be any reason for a new type of game. And, you know, the day that that game comes out, I'll take this video down. Because, you know, even though this game's mature, there's no, like, there's violence in it, but there's no sex, or there's no lots of slander or cuss words. It's, you know, it's literally like you are playing a game, and it's way better than Fallout. I loved Fallout 3 to death, and Fallout New Vegas too, but, you know, nothing compares to Skyrim for me. Skyrim's my, you know, #1 game. You know, nothing's gonna top that. And, you know, I haven't played it in a couple months because, you know, I played the game till I mastered it. Like, I literally felt like I was the, like, Skyrim guy. Like, if you know anybody that knows me, you know, I was one of the first people to get Skyrim in my, you know, classes and stuff and at school, and I played it like nobody saw me after I played it. So this game is getting 10 out of 10. Of course, I mean, I think most of you expected that, but you can't beat it. So here's a mustache. So I hope you guys like that mustache. I'll be putting these on in all my live videos from now on, trying to figure out how to keep it on my face. So this is it. I hope you guys like my new webcam. Like for cookies, subscribe for a cake. Peace out, everyone.